Yes, we are back in business today. Good morning. Yes, and the topic of the day, the topic of today's presentation is Richard Dawkins and his theories. Yeah, he's a super clever guy. So we gotta talk about this. How come Richard Dawkins wrote this book, The Selfish Gene? I don't know what was the time of the origination of the book, right? What time he wrote the book, and is it current? This book, is it true that everybody is for himself? Well, if you don't see this part of life, you know, I would say that is just the 50% part of life, that everybody is for themselves. If you don't see that, well, well, you are in trouble. If you are kind and love-giving person and all this good soul, by the way, that gives everything to the world, good luck, yeah. But here is me to clarify, that is only 50%. And I've also noticed something that is usually going on, yeah? There are a lot of people. There are a lot of people that want to give to the humanity, yeah? They want to give them everything. They want to give them their information. They want to give them knowledge. They want to give them all the tools available, like for example, how to get rich, right? If you go to right now to the magical place called internet, you're gonna see before each video probably Tai Lopez, who wants to help you out how to get rich faster and faster and faster. But well, just to let you know, Tai Lopez is just for himself, you know. He read all these books, starting with David Buss and Richard Dawkins. Yeah, he knows very well. So his videos are very good, yeah. His videos are very good, but for himself only, for his own perpetuating selfish gene. And this is a sort of rant, right? So whatever you think, I'm gonna tell you. It is a statement. This is not a question. Yeah? How do I know it? From let's say 35 years of experience dealing with people, all kinds of people. Yeah, all kinds of people I've been dealing. So I'm going to tell you the selfish gene is just 50%. The good and the loving heart on the other side is also just 50%. And it's just a matter of state, you know. Like if you're rich, if you're super rich, if you're wealthy, if you're healthy, if you're in good shape, if you have a good body, if you have a strong mind, well, just like me. If you control the time, which is the most important, if you control time, then your heart is open. Yeah, your heart is open to giving, and you can give anything that you have to the rest of the world, including your closest peers, including your family and friends and stuff and stuff and stuff. But hey, if you're poor, if you're mentally poor, you know what I mean? If you didn't read these books, right? If you don't control your time, if somebody else controls your time all day long, right? As sad as it might sound, you are one selfish prick, and you should go read. You should go read Richard Dawkins about the selfish gene, and you can see yourself there. Once you read the book, you're gonna say, wow, that book was me. I was the main character without noticing it. And how come this smart guy, Richard Dawkins, get me into the picture, right? That would be the question if you read this book. So it's a state of mind, right? Sometimes you're good, sometimes you're bad, sometimes you benevolent, sometimes you're malevolent. You don't know, yeah? And what is it? This driving force in life? Is it the Chloridians from the Star Wars movie? Is it something else that makes you different? I don't know. Is it your ego? Yeah, that's a good question. How you deal with your ego? Can you take your ego? Yeah, can you just take it and move it here and observe yourself from behind? not from behind. Please don't observe yourself from behind, from the top, yeah? Something like that, from the top. You can observe yourself from the top. Yeah, these are the good questions, you know, of the little people like us walking on the streets of the big city. As you can see, it's pretty big, right? Once you get in here, you understand that you're practically not special. You're not that special. Snowflakes, you are not that unique. Snowflakes, as my other gurus, my other friends' gurus would say. You found out that you are not that unique after all. So, the question of the talk today, the rant, I would say it's, yeah, how much in percentage-wise is the selfish gene versus the good, loving heart of yourself? Yes, of yourself. How much? Where you stand on the scale? There is, by the way, a test. I'm gonna mention it in another video because now I'm not a fan of names, but that is a, yeah, that is a questionnaire where smart corporations are looking for good soul people to give all their hearts, and it's actually a very modern kind of study in the science of the New Age religious movements. Yes, because they are not just one. The New Age religious movements, they do have a lot of followers. Good loving, heart loving, and heart giving people all day long, yeah? But in the background, there are these vicious corporations that do run these tests. One of the tests is for your cooperation, subordination, which they call it with other words, a level of affection or something like that, right? So, yeah, how affectionate you are for the corporation, yeah? Are you a good loving heart? Yeah. Yeah, I know, because I've been dealing with a lot of people on personal level, on the basic business personal level, and I know that when it comes to business, most of these pricks, most of these good loving heart soul worshippers, any kind of sun worshippers, moon worshippers, they're gonna turn into the most vicious, self-centered, freaking hungry, greedy motherfuckers. Yeah, and you can see that by just pulling $1 out of your pocket. Yeah, that's what the reality is. You know, if you are ashamed to see the reality, shame on you. Yeah, and I have been pondering recently about life, and a lot of fans was asking me, yeah, what life is. So actually nobody asked me. I have to be honest. I have to be honest. Nobody asked me. But I do have one for you, if you like this description, yeah? And here it is. It's very poetic, you know, like I can push this in the poetry section just for this last part. Hear my poetry now. Life is like a gigantic elephant, yeah? With a lot of polka dots, yeah? Imagine the life and your life and the world and the universe like a big, giant, gray elephant, all loving and all good looking and all benevolent and all mighty and all strong and all powerful. That's what life is. Well, nature sometimes play jokes, right? So so in my case study, it's not just an elephant, but it's an elephant with polka dots. And yeah, why is that? And why the elephant is gray? The gray part of life represents the gray areas of our life. And since the skin is the largest organ in any body, in human body, in cockroach body, and in all other bodies. Oh, I'm sorry for the cockroach thought. But for the elephant, certainly the skin is the highest and the biggest organ, so that's why it's gray, right? Poetically speaking, this is the gray area in your life, right? And what are the polka dots? This is just my adage, you know, maybe it's not accurate, but I doubt, you know. The polka dots on the elephants are representing a little bit black vortexes, you know, that you sometimes go into. You get into one and then you get out and then you go in the gray area again, confused, you surfacing on the skin of the elephant, and then boom, you jump into another polka dot, yeah. A little vortex, a little black hole, yeah. So think of it as an elephant with a skin of color gray with a little polka dots, which represents these little vortexes and these little black holes of confusions that we often get in. Sometimes we go there, we stay like a couple of days, sometimes we stay a couple of months, sometimes we stay for years, you know, in the black holes. And some of these black holes, let's say the S of the elephant would represent death, right? That's what exactly the S of the elephant in this picture would represent. Sometimes you get into elephant's S, you know, poetically speaking, you die, right? But sometimes you go into different black holes, you know, like on the skin, on the surface, or maybe on his forehead, yes. That are the black holes that you get a lot of wisdom if you get in there. You better stay there longer, like for a couple of days, huh? Something like that. So here is my poetic representation of the world, the life and the universe. Gigantic elephant, a color gray, which represent the gray area of your lives, and with some polka dots, yes. Polka dots, like a little black holes that you can sink in and get in depression, repression, suppression, oppression, or whatever it might be. Yeah, you like that? And I guess some artist, I have a friend of mine, maybe, you know, I'm an artist myself, you know, a spray paint artist. I can get like this elephant representation of life. And the topic of today's question is, where are you in the life? Are you in the selfish gene, looking at the elephant and seeing reality as this? Or you live in the matrix, in some of the black holes covering the skin of the elephant life, the huge, big life, yeah? Where are you? Oh, forgot to say before I, you know, please subscribe. There's a subscribe button somewhere here. I'm gonna automate, you know, for the automatic consciousness. Yes, subscribe please.